Right Network. Mobilizing, countering the left, energizing the right. New Right Network, home of the New Right movement.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to New Right Network, original series, SmythTV. Your host, Brian Smith, giving you all the breaking news of the day, wrapping it all up, making sense of it, exposing the fake news, and giving you the real news. Share this with your friends and your family. If you're watching this on YouTube, crush the subscribe button and then hit the notifications. If you're on the Facebooks, hit the share and hit the likes and all the other things you can do. And as well on Twitter and Periscope, please share this on your page. Much appreciated. Speaking about the news of the day, breaking, folks, we've got conservative voices being suspended with the likes never been seen before. You want to talk about unpersoning people? You want to talk about 1984? Well, it's here, folks. It is here. Woke up this morning, started getting into the news of the day, and truly upset and triggered and dealing with all of this at the same time because they're personal friends of ours and of the show. So I'll unpack all that. We'll explain what's going on. And then again, reference our good friend Alex Phillips from American Priorities, AmericanPriority.com. Check the description below. You can find all the links. He is coming up with, or has come up with, a Internet Bill of Rights. We don't need the government making more regulations, making more laws, making more rules. We need to stay away from that. But we can come up with something that he refers to as the Internet Bill of Rights. And in the fall, the Columbus weekend holiday, American Priorities, is going to be down at the Doral, Trump Doral, down near Miami, Florida. And we're going to have a big conference once again. We'll be speaking about that. Have some of the great speakers, the e-celebs, if you will, and some of the celebrities. We'll have them as well. Giving speeches and talking about all these things that are going on in our world. And yeah, especially the Internet Bill of Rights. I'm just beside myself with this whole darn thing. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the reason why they got suspended. Why are these people getting suspended from the Facebooks, the Twitters, the Instagrams, and the YouTubes? Why are these, for a lack of better words, these dictators of these social media sites, why are they banning people? 2 words: Sharia law. Sharia law. What's that got to do with anything? And then we also have the left can't handle the loss. That's the subject title down in the notes. Left can't handle the loss. We've got the left on full display, losing. And what it feels like to lose, you can see it in their face. You can see it, you can hear it in their words and in their actions. And then we're going to round up Friday with an incredible Freedom Friday for me. I know it doesn't feel like Freedom Friday, but we're going to round it out with Freedom Friday with MAGA news. I told you I was going to come to you every single day with real news about making America great again, America first priorities, keeping America great. Incredible MAGA news that I've been telling other people about. Matter of fact, I was in a meeting earlier this morning, and we were talking about the news of the day, and somebody said, well, I guess slow news day. No, I guess that's about it. And I said, hold on, man. You forgot some of the biggest news of the day. And they were like, what's going on? I'm not seeing it. I said, I know you're not seeing it. It's called MAGA news. We've got some big breaking MAGA news of the day. Matter of fact, let's start the show out because it's going to be a rough one, folks. If you've seen the title of the show and you've seen the thumbnail, it's going to be a rough one today. But hang in there. I'll make sense of it all. I'll round it all out, and then we can move on, especially with some great news. And this by our good friend at Megavolt001. Absolutely follow breaking news all day long, throughout the night, always on this handle on Twitter. And hashtag economy, hashtag jobs, hashtag Trump, hashtag winning, Trump economic miracle. $9.1 trillion in new market value, lowest unemployment rate of any president ever, 3% GDP growth, wages are up. This at thegatewaypundit.com. On Friday, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that the unemployment rate held steady at 3.8%. That brings the average unemployment rate for the first 26 months of Trump's presidency from February 2017 through March 2019 to 4.1% on average. GDP rate is at 3%, something the Obama administration thought impossible, and wages are up 3.4%.
Remember when the media said that the world was going to collapse because Trump won? Back in 2016, the U.S. media said that Trump's victory would not only crash the U.S. economy, but the global economy, plunging everybody and the world into recession.
Markets around the world are in turmoil at this hour over Trump's astonishing victory.
U.S. stock markets will open, but the global markets were very quick to respond to Donald Trump's defeat of Hillary Clinton, sinking in anticipation of a Trump presidency.
Global investors had expected and wanted a Hillary Clinton presidency. They didn't get it. Now you're going to see volatility, guys.
Okay, and Paul Krugman of the New York Times said global recession. Fast forward to today. If you had sold your stocks based on what the pundits there said, you would have missed out on $9.1 trillion in market run-up. We've got jobless rates, the lowest in half a century. Worker retirement plans, including union worker plans, soaring even higher. Historic economic confidence, wait for it, among millennials. That's got Democrats in a scramble. Now this, Joe Biden is actually trying to attack Trump and the economy. But top newspapers, the New York Times and the Washington Post, saying Joe Biden's getting it wrong. Let's bring in Bach Enterprises CEO and billionaire Ernie Bach Jr. Ernie, 4 quarters of GDP at 3%. Another good jobs report. You're taking all this.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I think the Democrats have a real problem putting somebody up against Trump. I mean, if the election was tomorrow, I think Mr. Trump would win.
Median household income also plummeted under Obama and Biden. Here's how Donald Trump might win in 2020. He could quote Ronald Reagan. Watch.
Ask yourself, are you better off than you were 4 years ago?
Your take on that, Ernie?
Well, I'll tell you, with AOC as the Pied Piper and Pelosi's rhetoric, they are in big trouble serving somebody up. They're destroying the American dream. They're demonizing wealth. They've got real problems. You know,
Joe Biden said most people did not get the tax cut. The New York Times saying, Joe, most Americans did get a tax cut as a result of Trump's tax cuts and the Job Act. The Washington Post fact-checked Joe Biden, gave him 4 Pinocchios. The Washington Post is saying, hey, the top 1% pay an astonishing 24% of all federal income tax revenue. The top 20 paid 95%. Your take on the newspapers correcting Joe Biden?
Yeah, well, I think Joe Biden's got it wrong. I don't think he's got a shot of winning at all. I don't even think he's part of the demo that the Democrats want. He's not really what they're looking for. I think he's going to crash and burn very quickly.
You know, Ernie, you're a businessman. You know what it takes to provide health insurance. I mean, we know that Joe Biden's going to defend Obamacare. He wants a public option as part of this. Politico is saying Joe Biden is heavy on emotion and light on policy. Kellyanne Conway is saying on Joe Biden, is Biden for Medicare for all? Because Medicare for all means Obamacare didn't work. Do they have a point there?
Yeah, I think they have a point. It's so scattered. It's hard to grab hold of anything they're talking about because it's this way, it's that way, it's Trump, it's not, it's crazy.
Speaking about crazy, if you vote Democrat anytime soon, that would be a crazy decision to make, and it's not opinion, that's not conjecture, that's fact. Look at what Trump has done in the past 2 years. It has been phenomenal. It has exceeded all our expectations. You cannot deny that. You can, but yeah, you're going to get fact checked and you're going to get Pinocchios without a doubt. Okay, we'll get into a lot more of the details of what's going on with the economy because there's much more going on than just that. Although that is a lot and that's phenomenal. There's a lot more going on. We've got to get through some of the news of the day, and then we'll get into that stuff. The silencing of conservatives. We're going to get I'll go through the silencing and what has happened over the last 12 to 24 hours, and then we'll have the Democrats on display. They cannot handle the loss, and this is how they're running 2020, and they're getting wrecked. And as if you can see by that clip, that's not just me saying that. That's other people saying that as well. So over the night, if you didn't hear, Facebook went ahead and notified. Now, I know all the news already. I've already compiled it, but I'm going to give it to you as it came out. Apparently, Facebook went ahead and notified the mainstream media, CNN and other outlets, that they were going to go ahead and ban Paul Joseph Watson, Prison Planet, on Twitter. He's still on Twitter because he's connected to InfoWars. He says they never gave him an answer of why they're suspending him, but suspended him permanently from Facebook, and also permanently Milo Jovanovic and Laura Loomer, if she wasn't already. Laura Loomer, I believe, is being suspended permanently on Instagram, which Facebook owns. Milo, you might know Milo as the very flamboyant and beautiful blonde gay man from the UK that is a huge Trump supporter, huge nationalist in the sense of your country should be your country. If you're in America, America first. If you're in the UK, UK first. And he's been very vocal in America, going from university to university, speaking up as Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens does. Paul Joseph Watson now permanently banned, indefinitely banned on Facebook. And they told the news, they told them that this was coming down. And so the news went ahead and published and said it was happening, yet it hadn't actually physically manifested itself on Facebook. So now we know the collusion between Facebook's partner with media and their Instagram outlet. So Facebook, Instagram, same thing, and banning all conservative voices that speak out. Extremely frustrating, extremely upsetting. Laura Loomer, the most banned woman in the world now. This by our good friend at Julie, REICHWEIN1. I follow back MAGA. And trust me, she does. She's got a huge following, and she's got 99,000 followers, or she's following 99,000 people, and she's got 98.6 thousand followers. So she's got a good 50-50 ratio, and she comes out with great news. Also good friends with Laura Loomer. So if you want any Loomer updates, definitely find them right here with Julie. And she has to misspell the word jihadist, and she has to misspell the word Nazis. We have to do that now, folks. We have to now censor ourselves in fear of being banned or suspended from these social media accounts. And she tweets out, jihadists and Nazis are running for tech companies, are running our tech companies. It's time to stand up and fight before it's too late. I am now the most banned woman in the world, Laura Loomer official. And retweet if you support this free speech. You can find the Twitter below in the description. Laura Loomer's handle is below as well. All the information in the description below to get a hold of Laura Loomer, to message her, to get a hold of Julie and direct message her on Twitter. If you want to be in the know, these are the folks that are in the know, and we're bringing this to you. SmythTV, folks, it's real news right now. Breaking news of the day. Conservatives are being, I would say banned, but conservatives are being washed, being completely bleach bitted off of social media, where in the sense that these have now become public forums. And we believe that because it is a public forum, that these tech companies now need to abide by the Constitution and free speech and things of that nature. And so, again, our good friend Alex Phillips, AmericanPriority.com, with the Internet Bill of Rights. We'll be having the Priorities Conference here Columbus weekend down at Trump's Doral Resort. Jump over to AmericanPriority.com and sign up. Get your tickets before they're gone. I'll actually be giving a talk while we're there as well on some breaking things that we are doing here to help support new MAGA candidates that want to run for Congress, America First candidates that want to run for Congress, Christians with their Christian belief and their Christian faith that feel that they need to make a difference in America and want to run for Congress. And the reason why we need to support these individuals is because a lot of people, the GOP might not support them. The RNC might not support them, especially if you're running against candidates that are establishment candidates. We are there for you. So you got to be down there in Florida, be plugged into the new movement that is the MAGA movement, and then shifting to the KAG, Keep America, great movement. That will be us after 2024. And Prison Planet, Paul Joseph Watson permanently suspended off Facebook forever for calling out Islam in the UK, for calling out Islam worldwide. Y'all know how much longer I'm going to be here on this show as well. We call out Islam like just like they do, because it appears on social network. We don't have to try very hard. It's very easy to find what Islam is doing, and technology is the enemy now of the globalists. Technology has become the globalist number one enemy, and now they're fighting back by censorship and cutting out voices of truth. Paul Joseph Watson is still on the YouTubes, and again, description below, you can find him there. He normally puts together like 8-minute, 9-minute, sometimes 10-minute videos. Really good, well done videos, high production value, very entertaining. And he put out a 3-minute video on YouTube about what is going on and what had just happened, transpired overnight with the banning. So here's Paul Joseph Watson.
In times of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. I gave you a little bit too much truth, and now I must be silenced. Banned by Facebook, banned by Instagram, and now the media says Louis Farrakhan is far right. What? They obviously banned Farrakhan at the same time to give them the excuse that this wasn't political. It was totally political. This is nothing less than election meddling. Everyone Facebook has banned was instrumental in getting Donald Trump elected. This is punishment. This is a political purge. This has nothing to do with hate or violating terms of service. Russians buy a few Facebook ads. Leftists. This is horrendous. This is election meddling. Democracy is at stake. Facebook bans most of the people who helped get Trump elected. Leftists and boomers. A private company can do what it likes. The creepiest thing is not the bans. It's the threat that anyone else will be banned for talking about the people who were banned. That's chilling. That's giant corporations enforcing their own communist Chinese-style social credits.
And just for those of you audio only, there is a tweet that was put up, Nick Monroe. Read my lips, this is worse than usual sorts of bans. Facebook and Instagram will remove any content containing InfoWars video, radio segments, or articles, and Facebook will remove any group set up to share InfoWars content. That's too much power to give Facebook. Again, Nick Monroe at NickMon1112.
And leftists love it. I was given no reason whatsoever for being banned by Facebook or Instagram. So I'm dangerous. Someone who makes meme videos laughing at social justice warriors, or is handing the power to decide who gets to have free speech to a handful of giant politically partisan corporations dangerous. What's more dangerous? They put me on a list with terrorists, human traffickers, and serial killers because I criticize modern art and modern architecture, because I dare criticize mass immigration, because I dare criticize a belief system. Yet you still host Antifa accounts which threaten to assassinate the president. You still host accounts belonging to the sicko who sent death threats to Ben Shapiro's family. This is truly clown world. And notice how the media were tipped off over an hour in advance of me getting banned. The same media that's been lobbying for conservatives to be silenced, censored, and deplatformed for the past 2 years. There are barely any real journalists left. They're all activists, abusing their power, working hand in hand with big tech to eliminate their competition? When are we going to see any kind of sensible regulations or laws to stop this? They're now removing people's ability to have bank accounts and credit cards because they have the wrong opinions. They're literally trying to remove your right to buy and sell. This is biblical. No right to commerce unless you have the mark. And what is the mark? Total intellectual castration and obedience. So this looks like it's the end. I'll still be at summit.news while that exists. While I exist, as my entire purpose for existing is snuffed out. While society is handed over to deranged, infantilized crybabies who think hate speech is challenging their stupid opinions. Hysterical, authoritarian clowns have seized control of the new public square, and conservatives did nothing to stop it. The Trump administration did nothing to stop it. You thought it would stop at Alex Jones. You think it's going to stop at me. You think it's going to stop at Facebook accounts. They even demanded YouTube remove Ben Shapiro. They want your bank accounts. They want your home. They want you disappeared. If freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may be led, like sheep to the slaughter.
SummitNews.com, that's where you can find him. That's still up. It's a website. It's still up. He's Paul Joseph Watson still on YouTube as of now. This is where it's come to. If you speak up or you speak out differently, we see how Trump supporters are attacked and hit and punched and violently by Antifa, whether it be bike locks, whether it be wrenches, something, just awful, awful things have happened. And throwing eggs, just violently reacting to people who have a difference of opinion. Our opinion is different than yours, and you can't handle it, so you lash out. Left can't handle the loss. You lash out violently. This is what children do. Children are taught to use their words and not their hands. I have 3 children. That's what I've taught them to do. My children do not hit. Ever. They do not hit. And they're well behaved too. So this is the left. The left is out of control. Mark Dice is still up and running. I don't think I've seen anything from Mark Dice that's been banned yet, although he has been demonetized heavily on YouTube, as well as when we've been doing this 5 years. The first 4.5 years of Smith Radio, audio only. We put up the audio up on YouTube and be blocked, be banned, violations or whatnot, monetized, demonetized. So we stopped messing with it. We didn't even mess with it. Now we've shifted to SmythTV, and we had to create a new account on Twitter, a new account on YouTube to try and get a fresh start from being censored and being blocked and being shadow banned. This is how bad it's getting. And so we got Mark Dice.
Watson, Lord Loomer, and Bob Yiannopoulos were just unpersoned by Facebook yesterday in the latest purge of prominent conservative voices, and they were labeled dangerous people and then lumped in with Louis Farrakhan, who was also banned. Of course, Facebook did not ban the Smash Racism DC page, the Antifa DC page, which organized that harassment campaign against Tucker Carlson by literally creating an event for it, posting his home address surrounding his home, and then telling him that, quote, he's not safe, and they know where he sleeps.
Your policies promote hate. We want to know where you sleep at night.
We know where you sleep at night. We know where you sleep at night.
Nope, that didn't violate Facebook's terms of service, but Paul, Laura, and Milo criticizing Islam does. What else is interesting is that the reports were already published and circulating from CNN, of course, and others, saying that they were banned before they were actually banned. It looks like CNN had their article written and ready to publish for the moment the ban took place, and then once they were given the heads up from their Facebook contact, yep, we're going to ban them right now, they published the article, but it took Facebook a few minutes to finally get around to actually deleting the accounts. The Atlantic is reporting that if anybody posts any InfoWars articles or videos on their Facebook page, those posts will be removed and repeat offenders will also be banned. TechCrunch is reporting that Facebook may start engaging in pre-crime detection, like the Tom Cruise movie Minority Report, And it may just start deleting people's pages before they actually violate the policies. In her book, Hate, Why We Should Resist It with Free Speech, Not Censorship, by Nadine Strassman, the former president of the ACLU, she quotes George Washington University professor Jeffrey Rosen, who says that social media platforms, although not formally bound by the First Amendment, since they are technically private corporations, right, they have a democratic obligation to embrace something close to the constitutional standard. Like universities and media outlets, online speech platforms should not be safe spaces. They should be democratic spaces, with the ultimate victors in the clash of ideas determined by reason and deliberation. She also points out that prior to the Civil War, many southern states made it illegal for people to actually denounce slavery because they didn't want abolitionist ideas to spread, saying, quote,
I mean, that's what it's come to. That is absolutely what it's come to, and it's history repeating itself once again. The liberals can't win. They can't win in the realm of ideas. They can't win when it comes to debate. So what they do is they lash out in retaliation by silencing our voices because we are the voice of reason, and they can't win against that. Just like the liberals couldn't win against the voice of reason that Black Americans that have been enslaved should be freed. It's against all moral ideology to enslave human beings, and that we should free them. Americans died for that. Tens of thousands of Americans died for that ideology, and the Democrats all wanted to keep their slaves. They haven't been this mad since we freed their slaves. Just truly upset they are. So this is what they have to do. Orwellian-like times that we're living in. It does feel a bit nervous. It certainly does. I'm on edge about it. Don Jr. And thank God we still got social media here. I mean, if they, I actually think that it would be a great idea. I think it would be the best idea ever if they banned President Trump from Twitter. I think that would be the greatest thing that could have ever happened, because wherever he goes is where everybody else is going to go. So have your platform up and running. And hopefully if Donald Trump jumps over to your platform, you're a winner. Seriously, that thing will go through the roof. And so we're staying close to Donald Trump and his son, Don Jr., tweeting out last night. This at Donald J. Trump Jr. Funny how the censorship always works one way. If you're a leftist, you can get away with almost anything on Facebook. Facebook takes no actions as Occupy Democrats page shares fantasy about Trump funeral. This by Breitbart.com. Kathy Griffith holding up a fake head of Trump's look-alike, like Trump's severed head, bloodied, holding it up as a joke, as a fantasy, whatever she's got going on over there. That's cool. That's cool. But Laura Loomer, Milo, and Paul Joseph Watson talking about the evils of Islam. No, you can't do that. You can't do that at all. And we've got this. This was very scary. I know Mark Dice just mentioned that it is said now that if you post anything up on Instagram or Facebook that has anything to do with anything Alex Jones, InfoWars, anything, it's going to be taken down, and you will be subjected to suspension or expulsion. Or like me, I'm on super secret probation. Might be double super secret probation. I try and share something and it says, this is a mistake. You've been blocked from doing this. I gave up on Facebook years and years and years ago, but now that we're with NewRightNetwork.com, New Right Network has a large presence on Facebook. So they got me back. They're pulling me back in and doing whatever we can to help move this forward. And from our good friend at ALX, I posted this picture of me with Paul Joseph Watson, Milo Yiannopoulos, and Laura Loomer on Instagram yesterday. Instagram took it down. It is now against their community guidelines to post pictures with people who they have labeled dangerous. This is terrifying. So you see the picture right there. He's thumbs up with Laura Loomer, the OK sign with Milo, and the thumbs up sign with PJW. And it says right here from Instagram, your post has been deleted. We removed your post because it doesn't follow our community guidelines. If you violate our guidelines again, your account may be restricted or disabled. This post was on May 2nd. He received this about his post on May 2nd at 4:37 p.m. We're in the fight of our lives. We truly are. I've been frustrated with the numbers for our show. I've been frustrated with things that I felt that were strangely odd about our accounts and why some things would happen and other things would happen. I'll put up a post of something and it may go unseen for 24 hours. I've got 22,500 followers. Carrie, my co-host, has 25,500 followers. Both of us stuck at that number for months, if not years. As soon as we gain 100 followers, guaranteed we will lose. It's a 50-50 ratio. Guaranteed we will lose 50% of those followers the moment that they start to follow us. And I don't know why MAGA folks or Trump supporters would decide to go ahead and follow our show and then just unfollow, just not follow anymore. People don't do that. People don't normally follow somebody and then just unfollow them. I can't explain it. I'm not trying to complain or bitch or moan about it, but it's truly what's happening. It's what's happening to us. And now we're seeing our friends being banned on social media. This from across the pond at KT Hopkins to my compatriots, Alex, Milo, Laura, Paul, and Lewis too.
Is this what you want, Mark Zuckerberg, is it? The smallest world possible, saccharine sweet, where everything is perfect and dreams really can come true. Because I've some big news for you, my little moon-tanned friend in your T-shirt. Disney is not real life. I've worked there, in fact, as a security guard, mostly pulling paedophiles out of Peter Pan. Well, the maze, at least. You know, real life is dirty and noisy with rubbish in the streets and homeless people living amongst it. It is churches being destroyed. It is the whole of New Zealand pandering to Islam. It is CNN using children to push their political agenda and illegal immigrants being processed in America for votes. Not talking about the grubby stuff doesn't make it go away. It just pushes it further below the surface, perpetuating the rage. This is not about freedom of speech. We lost that a long time ago in my country. Most people now have to think before they even open their mouths. Self-censorship is here. But this is next level. You have classified commentators, my friends, like Alex, Laura, Milo, Paul, as terrorists when jihadis use your platform freely and at will. You are targeting conservative voices, throwing Farrakhan under the bus in the hope that we'll all look the other way. You're making young people believe that agreement is a precursor to a debate. We don't all agree, Zuckerberg. Facebook is not the arbiter of truth. Real people are. You should trust them. You don't trust your users to form their own opinions, but you are happy to pump them for profit. The hypocrisy is rank. And for God's sake, get a proper shirt. You're not 10.
Yeah, no, you're right. Get a proper shirt. You're not 10. Here's the problem that we have with these individuals. And if you haven't heard this story before, I'll tell it once again, just real briefly. Back in the 2005, 2006 era, my cousin and I embarked on an entrepreneurship to where we set up and created and developed and operated a social media platform. It was a split between YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. YouTube with the videos, Facebook with the profiles, and Twitter with the feed. All three of them at one point in time didn't have all that in one. So we developed that and put that together all in one, totally uncensored. You could say or do whatever you want. You could post whatever you want. It was adult, if you will. We restricted it to 17 and older because just out of our own moral compass, I didn't want children being on there. So in that capacity, people could do whatever they wanted. I had total control over everybody. It was so scary. And it was, I felt like I was doing something wrong, and tactically, morally, you could be doing something wrong. I could go on the back end of the computer, the program. I could see all of everybody's personal photos that were labeled restricted or private. I could see everybody's private direct messages. I could see people's passwords. Yes, folks, if you think your password is secure, that they can't see it, think again. They can see your password. They know what it is. So I suggest changing your password often and frequently. As difficult as you want it to be, that's for the people who can't see it. For the people who can see it, you got to change it frequently. I could mess with people. I could change their password. I can make it something so they can never get back in when they request to get back. I didn't do this. I'm just saying I could do this. We were doing it to each other to see how far we could go with it and how dangerous, just out of morbid curiosity. And I could make it to myself. I had an account on there where I could make it to where I said, I forgot my password, and it would revert back to another page that said, check your email. And it never sent an email. They can mess with you 2 ways from Sunday. This is the little God, the little G God complex that Mark Zuckerberg and Jack have both owned. They own the little God complex. They literally come from nothing. Well, I mean, Zuckerberg, a fairly wealthy family, but not this wealthy, in the billions and billions of dollars. They come from nothing and have everything. That kind of wealth overnight based on something not worth, in a sense, that much money. Just like Hollywood actors that command $20 million for 3 months worth of work. They go a little bit loopy because they have to justify that amount of money. Now think about having billions and billions and billions of dollars. You have so much money that everything that you've ever wanted is already bought and paid for, and you're running out of things to buy. That's how much money you have. The little God complex that Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey have is just beyond anybody's ideologies, beyond anybody's wild expectations. And this is an article posted up by Breitbart News once again at DERAMETH. Oh my goodness, we don't want any snowflakes to have hurt feelings. Far left Instagram, which is owned by far left Facebook, testing new likes feature. Instagram test feature hiding likes on photos to protect people's feelings at Breitbart News. So what is this all about? Yes, what they're going to do is they're now going to hide the likes on your picture that you posted up, whatever you've posted up on Instagram. They're going to hide the likes. If they deem that it shouldn't go viral, or if that somebody shouldn't see it, they'll suppress the likes to make it not visible to other people because they deem it triggering, I guess. They deem it triggering. More of this 1984 type stuff going on. And Maria Bartiromo sounding the alarm last night out to the President of the United States, the GOP, Fox Business News, mornings with Maria Bartiromo. This will become an bigger story going into the 2020 at GOP leadership, at Real Donald Trump. Vote harvesting. Facebook blacklists prominent conservatives, including Paul Joseph Watson and Laura Loomer. And you heard the clip from Paul Joseph Watson. This is absolutely going to be instrumental in the left winning, if possible, winning anything in 2020. They've got to silence these voices. They've got to silence our voices for speaking out and speaking the truth and putting them on display. It's the same reason the DNC refused to allow Fox News to host any debates in the DNC. No DNC debates. Nope. Sorry, Fox News. They've got to do that because they can't win in the realm of ideas. And this also truly scary report author and SPLC producer Barnett Golding combined 5 major lists of websites marking unreliable. That result, which consisted of 515 names, including many prominent conservative sites. At David Webb Show, this article goes into how this website decided to go ahead and lump conservative voices and 515 conservative names and websites into a category of, just for all intents and purposes, fake news. They're saying that this is fake news, unreliable sources. They consistently put out propaganda and fake news. So they are on this list. Many complaints were put in to the website that developed this, and they put up a statement saying that we realize that, there might be some discrepancies from what we are seeing and our program. So at the moment, we're going to take things down and reevaluate this and then put it back up at another time. Truly Orwellian. And this kind of lumps in with the whole thing at the Hill. California Senate passes a bill that would keep Trump off the 2020 ballot unless he releases his tax returns. Yes, the Democrats aren't stopping. I told you, Jimmy, the Democrats are beyond sore losers. They're worse than sore losers. They can't handle the loss. So what do when they can't handle the loss? They lash out. They attack violently or by passing bills like this. So they're demanding that Trump release his tax returns, or you cannot be on the ballot in the state of California for 2020. A national election depriving Trump supporters in California from voting for their president. It doesn't matter. People will write it in. It doesn't matter. Let it be. However, this, I'm not a lawyer, but this flies in the face of legality. This seems to be so highly illegal. But as the article goes on, the measure was approved 27-10. All 10 saying no were all Republican senators, according to the Associated Press. California, for the first time, will be one of the first states to hold its presidential primary in the 2020 cycle. They also passed a similar bill in 2017. But then Governor Jerry Brown, Democrat, a socialist, his dad was too, vetoed the bill. Said, no, we ain't doing that. He didn't want to release his tax returns. Go figure. When it's not in favor of the Democrats, they don't do it. Similar bills are now making their way through Washington State and New Jersey and through the legislatures. I don't know what to say about this other than we've got to get involved. Get involved with your local elections. Get involved with your local GOP. Get involved with individual groups. You've got to physically get out and do some of these things now. Go out and donate. Donate to shows like this, SmythTV. Jump over to Smith.tv. Help us out. Help us. Help others. We are now going to be supporting and helping MAGA candidates and America First candidates, Christian candidates for running for office. We will be doing this. This will be 2020 run. We'll be speaking more about it at the American Priorities Conference. Thank you so much, Alex Phillips, for giving us a voice. So again, jump over to Smith.tv. Be a part of this movement to fight back. If you're upset, you've got to do something about it. Help us fight back. Louis Farrakhan was banned as well. And I'm agreeing. They're just doing it and calling it out to make people think who are unaware, people who are not plugged into the news, to think that, oh, wow, this crazy anti-Semite, this hater of Jews and hater of white people, he gets banned too, trying to lump them in together. No, 100% false. Fake news, fake news. This by our good friend at Scott Pressler. The video Democrat Maxine Waters greets far-left racist Louis Farrakhan with a warm embrace and thanks him. The internet never forgets liberals. That's why they got to ban us.
Thank you.
Anti-Semite racist Louis Farrakhan. There you go, hanging out with Mad Maxine. Wouldn't expect anything less from her. And why is this happening? This is happening because of calling out Islam. We did that on some earlier shows that we have had, calling out Islam. There's a link below. Can't really get into it much, but check this out. LifeSite News, Catholic Church, and the higher ups involved in the Catholic Church, they're calling out the Pope, and they're saying that the Pope is guilty of a crime of heresy. Yeah, he is. He absolutely is. He actually embraced Islam. It's beyond me where the Catholic Church is going. This is so far gone. This by the Catholic churches, they put this together, and they have all these different individuals signing this off, calling for the popes to take action. And just quoting the article, the present open letter to the bishops of the Catholic Church goes a stage further in claiming that Pope Francis is guilty of the crime of heresy. This crime is committed when a Catholic knowingly and persistently denies something which he knows that the church teaches to be revealed by God. Taken together, the words and the actions of Pope Francis amount to a comprehensive rejection of Catholic teachings on marriage, sexual activity, and the moral law, and on grace and the forgiveness of sins. That's a whole lot. They're dealing with that, but I'm telling you right now, the fact that he embraces same-sex marriages, the fact that he embraces Islam and a multi-religious faction is just absolute insanity. There's only one God. There's only one Savior, and that's Jesus Christ. John 3:16, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son. Whoever believes in him will not perish, but have everlasting life. Hang your hat on that one. That's it. Done, said. Christ came 2,000 years ago. Muhammad and Allah and this whole joke of a cult was devised hundreds of years after Christ had given his life for our sins on the cross. We're calling it out here at all cost. I don't know how much longer this lady will be allowed to be on Facebook. 4.8 million views. She's a former Islamic ISIS state woman.
Dear friends, my name is Işık Abla. I am a former Muslim, and my Facebook post earlier went viral. And the reason is because people wanna know the truth in America now. They have been fed with lies for so long and for so radically. I'm gonna use the word radically. And it is so wrong. And every American citizen needs to know what kind of danger their families are facing, what kind of danger they are facing, and what kind of country, if you don't stand up, you are going to leave your children and to your grandchildren. And this is not fair, folks. And I want to talk to you today. Listen, God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. And I am one of those foolish things. Take me as a fool, but listen to me. Give ear to me, because this is about your life. This is about your children's life. This is about your safety. America is in danger because of radical Islam. Listen, there are several types of Islam and several types of radical jihad. And I want you to give me your ears, please, please, I'm begging you. There's legal jihad. It is happening right now in the United States. They want to bring the Sharia law. Look at, search on Google, because media is not telling you the truth. Because most of the media is taken by Saudi Arabia, and most of the colleges are getting fed with money after money from Muslim countries. You need to listen to me, folks. This is about your future. This is about your children's future. This is about your country. Do I feel more about your country than you? Why don't you wake up, and why don't you listen?
Why do I feel more for your country than you do? It's just right there. It's a full 12-minute clip. In the description below, you can see and watch the full video. It is beyond compelling. Everything she's saying is true. I've already researched it. I'm done. Islam is the evil of this world. There's no question about it. Islam is the evil of this world. If the devil had a religion, it would be called Islam. If the devil had a religion, it would be called Islam. And we're running short on time. Man, the left can't handle the loss. Let me run through this real quick. At Lori Hendry, if Democrats are so popular and right for America, why do they have to break election laws, fail to clean up their voter rolls, change the voting age to 16, end electoral college, and allow illegals to vote, and still have to make thousands of phony ballots to win elections? Extremely good point. At Black Widow 1928, Sarah Sanders, perhaps pathetic chairman, Nadler should resign. We lost confidence in Jerry a long time ago, but it's surprising he lost confidence in his capability to do his job. If he's not capable of asking questions, maybe he should resign. That was by Sarah Huckabee Sanders, posted up by at Black Widow 1928. This is very scary. This was posted by an MSNBC reporter, Kyle Griffin. I don't follow him, but this is very scary. Nancy Pelosi.
Madam Speaker, did the Attorney General commit a crime?
He lied to Congress. He lied to Congress. If anybody else did that, it would be considered a crime. Nobody is above the law, not the President of the United States and not the Attorney General. Being the Attorney General does not give you a bath to go say whatever you want, and it is the fact because you are the Attorney General. It just isn't true.
Should he go to jail for it?
There's a process involved here, and as I said, I'll say it again, and how many other questions you may have, the committee will act upon how we will proceed. Yes, ma'am.
No, the committee will not act on how you will proceed because you're not going to proceed. You're just going to continue to gaslight people and say that somebody lied. Somebody lied. This is Breitbart News posting up a video of Trump speaking about the witch hunt.
As God promises in the Bible, those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on the wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary, and they will walk and not be faint. And that's something that Mike and I think about all the time. Right, Mike? On this prayer day, what do you think, Mike? I think so. Hey, we deserve it. Man. People say, how do you get through that whole stuff? How do you go through those witch hunts and everything else? And you know what we do, Mike? We just do it, right? And we think about God.
And this at Nancy Lee 2016, I am sure he is disgusting even to Democrats. Memphis, Tennessee, you know what to do. 2020, vote him out. And at Liz_Wheeler, a crisis on the border, an FBI that spied on a presidential candidate, $500 million of our tax money to Planned Parenthood every year, a raging opioid crisis, evidence of voter fraud, corrupt federal officials who can't be fired, $22 trillion in debts, and this is Democrats in Congress. If you don't know, during the Bill Barr hearing, right afterwards, this knucklehead congressman, this Democrat, bought a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken and held up a chicken, but he then put that on Bill Barr's chair right in front of Bill Barr's name tag. This is the childishness of the Democrat Party. And at Donald Trump, at Real Donald Trump, finally mainstream media is getting involved. Too hot to avoid. Fox and Friends talking about Spygate and really blowing it up. Run out of time. I can't get into it, but look down in the show notes below at A Red Pill. Thank you very much for posting this daily.com newsletter up. Exclusive. This stings. How Obama saw Trump's victory as a personal insult. Watch the movie Doctor Strange to distract himself from election results and blamed Hillary for the loss because of her scripted, soulless campaign. Show notes below, folks. It is all there. Check it out. And again, I promised great MAGA news information at Chat by CC. Restoring American greatness is what President Trump promised us he would do. He made good on that promise. Big Lee, or some big league. But anyways, that's all right. That's all right. And I only saw Donald Trump's tweet because of her, and I thank you very much, CC. Donald Trump tweeted out a picture of Drudge Report. And he said, we can all agree America is now number one. We are the envy of the world, and the best is yet to come. Drudge reported, envy of the world, unemployment, 49-year low. Wage hits $27.77 an hour. Stock market, endless rally. Trump approval, over 50%. This at the Daily Caller. April jobs report, 263,000 jobs added, unemployment at 3.6%, dailycaller.com. I know 263,000 is not the big number that we want, but wait till it is revised. It'll come back up closer to 300,000. It does every single month. And at Nevada LFA, Trump economic miracle, 9.1 trillion in new market value, lowest unemployment rate of any president, 3% GDP growth, wages up, best president ever. Nobody has done this. Obama was all about, you didn't build that, and jobs are not coming back. This was posted up, this article at thegatewaypundit.com. And this at White House, the White House on Twitter, President at Real Donald Trump is fixing American trade to bring back our steel and manufacturing jobs home. The 118-year-old Pittsburgh steelmaker said its new casting and rolling manufacturing will allow it to better compete for decades to come. $1 billion added to their production. And this is too funny. At Tosca Austin. CNN poll, Trump's approval rating on the economy. This is CNN flabbergasted at their own CNN poll.
Part of that. Here, pardon the pun, is the Trump card for the president. 56% of Americans approve how he's handling the economy. This is the highest number we've ever seen in CNN polling. Look at this. That 56%, if you stack it up historically, it's the high watermark in the entirety of the Trump presidency in CNN polling. We've not seen him have that big of an approval rating on the economy. As you know, James Carville made famous, right? It's the economy, stupid. We know that sensibility about the economy heading into an election matters a ton.
My personal opinion, he's throwing out the dog whistle, letting the Democrats know, man, you got to do something. Just like the guy, Bill Maher. We got to wreck the economy to get rid of this president. What sick people these people really, truly are. Just sick, twisted, and demented. We've got to shut them down in the realm of ideas. We've got to fight back. Folks, help us fight back. Jump over to Smith.tv, become a Patreon, buy a shirt or a hat or something. Do something to help move our agenda of making America great again and keeping America great, moving that forward. And you're listening to New Right Network original series, Smith TV. Your host, Brian Smith, bringing you the breaking news of the day, wrapping it all up, making sense of it, exposing the fake news, and giving you the real news. Be thankful you live in the greatest economy in the world right now. This thing is firing on all cylinders, and the Democrats have no recourse. They've got no rebuttal. They've got no way to... They got nothing to say except hate and anger and fear-mongering and all the crazy nonsense. Don't listen to it. Enjoy your friends and your family. Have an incredible Friday. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Share this with your friends and your family. And I will see you back here on Monday.
You've been listening to New Right Network, mobilizing, countering, energizing. Online at newrightnetwork.com.